Alright, so congratulations on making it to the final 11 teams.
Except for Andy Colby.
Wait, 11?
There's a lot of teams.
There are a few subs. We got John Kuzmeski who's filling in for Nina Maggi. We have Casey Phil who's filling in for Becca Titterton. We have Susanna Ferris who's filling in for Cecilia Artson. And we have Andy Colby. Hey Andy.
Wait, what about?
Oh, Peter. And Peter's filling in for Brandon Liao.
Last week, our 11 qualifiers met me at the base of Bell Hill to embark on the second round of Suffield Academy's first ever Amazing Race.
Alright, the first leg of the Amazing Race is about to start.
Don't hold on to my shirt.
Ready?
Oh my god.
No. Ready? Set. Go!
I said go and cut the teams loose. They stormed up Bell Hill in order to find their first clue awaiting on top. This clue informed the teams that they had to find out which country they were in for this leg of the race. Teams had to find one letter in each of the 5 main buildings on campus.
G.
Where is that?
Where's Canada?
After finding all the letters, they had to rearrange them to create a country's name. Once they gave the correct name to Hannah Arthur, they received their next clue. Next, our teams made their way to Centurion Hall, where they encountered their first detour, a challenge in which teams get to pick their task based off of a single word. In this case, roll or enroll. Most teams chose roll, which led them down to the turf field. There, they would find a hula hoop and a bat. Their task was to roll the hula hoop from one end of the turf to the midfield line using only the bat. If the hoop fell, or the team used their hands to guide the hoop along, they had to start again. Once both teammates got the hoop across midfield, they were handed their next clue. Peter and Jonah excelled at this challenge by coaxing the hoop along smoothly and surely, which gave them a favorable lead.
We overcame some injuries. Brandon hurt his foot today. Drafted in Peter Kelly. As of now, team number 1.
John and Allie were the only ones to choose enroll. In this challenge, the teammates had to correctly label 25 countries on the African map. This proved to be daunting, as they spent nearly 25 minutes completing this task, pushing them towards the brink of elimination. In Tisch, our teams were presented with their first roadblock, a challenge that only one team member can do, as the other has to sit back and watch.
That would be cheating.
Oh my god.
For this roadblock, one teammate had to grab a bucket and hike down to Partner Regan's pond. There, they filled their buckets and rushed back to Tisch Fieldhouse. Upon return, they would have their bucket weighed, and if it did not meet the requirements of 15 pounds, they had to return to the pond. If their bucket was heavy enough, they were given their next clue. Although Peter Kelly started with a sizable lead, it was Owen Hearn who stole the show.
15 pounds?
Starting the task in 7th and coming back within seconds of the top 2 teams, Peter and Jonah and Mr. Zanus and Ingun, momentum was on the power couple's side. The final clue led the teams to the pit stop of this leg of the race, the Crow's Nest, which is also called Mr. Sullivan's Classroom, 3rd floor memorial. Teams were instructed to find me there to complete the day's challenge. They were also reminded that the last 2 teams to get there would be eliminated. In a mad dash to the finish line, Nick and Owen squeaked out a 10-second victory over Peter and Jonah and Ingun and Mr. Zanussi. As the victors of the second leg, our power couple won 2 bagel cards each and are awarded a slight head start in this week's challenges. Andy and Emma, Susanna and Tanner, Emily and Tristan, Kason and Lindsay, and the Salmonucks all finished mere minutes after the frontrunners, leaving 3 teams in the wake. In the end, youth prevailed, as John and Allie took the final spot, leading to the eliminations of Mom and Dad, Mr. and Mrs. DePelto, and Team Melendez, Haley and Harry. Only 9 teams remain. Who will prevail and who will fail in Suffield's first ever Amazing Race?